Prismacolor Colorless Blender marker is a very unique and wonderful tool. This is our new wrap. You can see it has a broad band here, and this is the wide end of the marker, and it has a narrow band, and that's the narrow end. It's a double tip marker. And one thing that's unique about it is that on tracing paper, if you use tracing paper, and I have a sheet down here, it acts as an eraser. So if I'm coloring on my tracing paper and I happen to go out of the edges or out of the lines, I can simply wipe this through my mistake, and then I want to clean off this marker, so I'm trying to get to the back of my sketchbook here and to the chipboard, and I just clean it off on the chipboard in the back, and I can go in here and I can remove some of that ink, or I could put a little design in there. I could put some stripes in there, or I could use it like a resist tool, make some polka dots. So that's pretty cool. If you like to use tracing paper, you'll love to use this to help with your markers on tracing paper. If you use it on marker paper, and that's what I have right here, if I use it first on my marker paper, it would kind of act a little bit like water and watercolor, because I could go in then and it would help to soften the edges here. So here I have a hard edge on the inside of my circle, and once I go around it with this, it helps to soften that edge and make it a smooth gradation, even though blend that in there a little bit more. So that is what it does. With markers, it will help you to blend your colors and blend in the white. If you happen to use it with colored pencil, it will act as a solvent with colored pencil, and this is the Prismacolor Premier colored pencil, and I've colored with some red, and now I'm going to color with some blue, and what it will do is it will act as a solvent here. So you can see how it's blending. It'll blend the two colors, it'll fill in the white spaces, but it also goopies up your marker here with pigment quite a bit. You can see that. And so again, after every color, it's so important that I go to the back of my sketchbook, and I hope you can see this. I'm scrubbing it around here on the chipboard. The chipboard has a nice abrasive surface, so it's really pretty good. Now I still see a mark on there. If I color here and I see that, I want to go and scrub it some more so that it could be stained with color. You can see that now it's a stain, but it shows pure white or clear when I use it. So it would be good if I went in and used it with yellow now. I could use it with yellow. I could use it with any other color as long as I clean it off. If I don't clean it off, I create a new marker color called Ugly, and that is not a very pretty sight because you've really just ruined your colorless blender. It also works with our Prismacolor watercolor pencils, and I've just colored lightly here with some watercolor pencil. If you happen to be traveling and don't have any water, you'll see that this will act as a solvent with the watercolor pencils. If I needed to use it like that, I could do that. And again, I've dirtied it up, so again, I want to take it to the back and clean it off. I can just not stress that enough about keeping it clean and keeping that pigment off of there. If you put the cap on with that on there, it mixes in with the ink in there and creates a bad situation. Now, I could take a piece of acetate and I could put some colors on my acetate here and use this like a palette. So I'm putting some red, and I'm going to put a little bit of some yellow here. And now I could let these dry out, and I could come in with my colorless blender marker and pick them up another time and just apply them here to my paper. For small areas this would work. If I wanted to mix a custom color, suppose I wanted a yellow orange color here that's somewhere between these two, I can mix this up, and I have a lighter orange color here, and I could apply that in a small area on my drawing. So it's a good tool for picking up a little bit of color and adding it like that. But again, I need to clean it off, And there's one more kind of cool trick that I like to do with this marker, and that is to create stripes. And so I'm going to charge it here with two different colors, and I'm just going to hold it on here, and it's going to take some of the ink from the yellow marker, from the Spanish orange marker, and then it's going to take some of the color from the cherry red marker, and I'm going to have some orange and yellow stripes here. Now, depending on how long you hold it, that's how long the color will last. So if I wanted to, I don't have enough yellow on here yet. I can see that. I have to add some more yellow, and maybe you can't really see the yellow very good. But I'm holding it kind of on a diagonal here, and I'm trying to let that sit on there a little bit. Now let's see if it's going to work here. So if I were an interior designer and I wanted to make something with stripes, or if I wanted to write my name in a funny way with different colors, I could do that. You'll have to experiment with it and see how it turns out, but again, you want to clean your marker off after doing that. And that's what I'm doing back here. I'm working on the chipboard, cleaning it off. And then it would be great to blend colors again. So here I'm going to put out a little bit of, you can see after all this I can still go back here, and here if I have some yellow, here I have a little orange, and I have kind of a sharp line in between them. I could just go in with my colorless blender here, and this would help to blend them together into a smooth gradation. So that's the magic of our colorless blender marker. It won't like magically blend your markers, but it will perform a lot of interesting tricks for you. So here it is, the Prismacolor Premier double-ended colorless blender marker.